Ever tried to solve a problem only to end up making it worse? All too often, this is an easy trap to fall into because it feels like what we're doing makes sense. We know that water extinguishes fire, for instance, but if your frying pan goes up in flames, the most obvious solution might actually be the worst one. Our tendency to do this, though, take solutions that work in one context and apply them in others where they don't, is a surprisingly widespread issue, one that can have an impact in all kinds of different fields and industries, and even has a name: solutionism. One of the easiest places to see this dynamic play out is in the world of technology. From the steam trains and factories of the Industrial Revolution to the microprocessors and high-speed internet connections of today, there's no doubt that technology has solved all kinds of problems, allowing us to do things faster and more efficiently than ever before. And now, with big data and machine learning enabling unprecedented advances in science and medicine, it's easy to believe that, in the words of former Google CEO Eric Schmidt, with enough data and the ability to crunch it, virtually any challenge facing humanity today can be solved. But while looking at the wonders technology has worked in some areas might lead us to conclude it can do the same everywhere, that's just the kind of logic that can get us into trouble. The power of our newest digital tools does create amazing possibilities. But, as it's often said, if all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And in the case of AI, it's a generative, state-of-the-art, neural network-enhanced hammer. So who wouldn't want to run around giving everything a bash? Ridiculous as that sounds, it's exactly how solutionism works. Rather than starting with a problem and looking for ways to solve it, we start with a solution and then go looking for problems, even where none exist. For example, the idea that soap dispensers with facial recognition, Wi-Fi connected juicers, or AI-enhanced smart fridges are solving any actual problems is pretty laughable. So calling any of these solutions is really little more than marketing. Increasingly, though, from finance to fashion, dieting to democracy, there seems to be no area of life that some Silicon Valley startup doesn't think would be improved by a machine learning algorithm or smartphone app. And while this seems relatively harmless, it's only the thin end of the wedge. Because the real danger of solutionism isn't wasteful gimmicks, it's what happens when this same mindset turns its attention to genuinely important problems without grasping their full complexity. Take policing. Digital technology has certainly improved aspects of crime fighting, like storing and matching fingerprints. But in other areas, things are less clear-cut. Many police forces have experimented with algorithms to predict where crimes are most likely to occur, which on paper should help allocate resources more effectively. But in practice, these systems often amplify existing biases by targeting neighborhoods that were already over-policed, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. More policing leads to more arrests, which feeds back into the algorithm as evidence that these areas need even more policing. Meanwhile, the root causes of crime remain unaddressed and may even worsen if funding shifts from community programs to surveillance technology. So what began as a solution ends up reinforcing the very problems it was meant to solve. Now, this doesn't mean the only true solutions are those with no downsides at all. Any response to a complex issue is going to involve swapping one set of problems for another. But a good solution is one where the new problems are preferable to the old ones. And many areas where we're applying cutting-edge technology, like mental health support, government bureaucracy, and climate change, are complex, dynamic systems in which tiny changes can trigger a cascade of unpredictable outcomes. That's why we should be wary of pinning our hopes on any technological fix that hasn't come from a deep understanding of the problem, how it relates to our shared values, and what its long-term effects might be. It may seem cynical to question the tech entrepreneurs pouring money and talent into solving the important issues of our time. At least they're doing something, but the issue isn't their good intentions, just whether they're paving a road we really want to travel. Our technological capabilities are increasing faster than ever, but it's important to realize that more powerful tools aren't necessarily better ones. Depending on how they're used, they might just be more dangerous. We can't know in advance if a bright idea will light the way or cast frightening shadows. But even just keeping the concept of solutionism in mind can help us avoid falling victim to it, by reminding us to check if what we're being offered is really a solution to the problem at hand, or just a bigger, shinier hammer.